Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hold My Nugget Studios once again for Game 3 of your 2024 NBA Finals game. Highlight commentary. Straight out the gate, Dallas in an 0-2 hole, desperately needing to take the W here because no team in NBA history has ever overcome an 0-3 series deficit. First 2 minutes of the game, Luka already with 5 points. And his running mate, Kyrie Irving, wouldn't waste any time getting on the board either because he too would have the best first quarter of this series. Dallas came out the gate swinging, going on a 25-13 run to begin this game. They was out there scoring more than a trucker with a prostitute addiction. To close out the run, Kyrie would have a pull-up three, and they'd make it a 13-point lead, their largest of this series. But unfortunately, Dallas forgot you got to play on both ends and actually guard somebody. Jason Tatum easily had his best performance of this entire final series, and Dallas went cold in the final 3 minutes. The Celtics went on an 11-0 run and ultimately closed out the quarter, only trailing by a single point, despite the fact that Dallas looked like they was fixing to go up by 20. Keep in mind, there's no big Latvian in this game because
what the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
Is unavailable for this game, and just like Game 2, Dallas would lose the lead in the second quarter, and Boston would continue to keep pace all the way through the next 12. Keep in mind, Kyrie Irving continued to remain aggressive, unlike he did in Game 1 and 2 in the second quarter, whether it was long pull-up twos, penetrating inside for layups. Brother was on his game today, but who gives a shit if you can score if your team can't defend on the other end of the floor? Who would have thought we would have saw Tillman getting minutes in the NBA Finals, but he get dunked on, pussy. The game tied, but not for long, because Tatum gets inside with the easy layup. Other end of the floor, Kyrie with the step back three, and then he did it again right in front of Drew Holiday's face.
All right, I've had it. This is Kermit the Angry Frog.
You would think after back-to-back Kyrie threes that you would see Dallas actually build a little bit of momentum, but that's not the case because they continued to struggle defending anything, as both teams would score 20 in the second and they'd go to the half only leading by 1. The Mavs have lost every single third quarter of this series, and absolutely nothing would change in Game 3 as they'd get outscored 35-19. It's almost like they forgot this was the NBA Finals. They stopped playing defense completely. And to make matters worse, entering this game, they only led for a total of 30 seconds in the second half between games 1 and 2. In this game, they only led for 42 seconds in the second half. They had virtually no offense outside of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, and anytime somebody else tried to create their own shot, they got denied. Tim Hardaway ain't make a basket since May 18th. It's been nearly a month since you scored. Get that brother off the court. He's cooked. Luka and Kyrie would try to keep it close and make it a game, but for every basket they would collectively score, their defense would give up 3 baskets. Boston went on 3 different individual 7-0 runs in this quarter. Who gives a shit if you can score if you can't defend? This is why defense wins championships. You letting this Ninja Turtle pull up for threes, banking it in left and right, and then you let Jaylen Brown dunk on Mark Cuban. He might as well have been on the court because ain't nobody else trying to defend. To the fourth quarter, we go down by 15, push it up to 21, and then a miracle happened. Dallas decided to go on a run. Boston completely fell asleep at the wheel. Mavericks crowd got right back into this game. Is that Emmitt Smith? Steve Nash? The hell Steve Nash doing here? Jaylen Brown would put in a turnaround jumper to finally cut the 12-0 run, but then Dallas would score 10 unanswered and outscore Boston 20-2 in the last 7 minutes.
Foul, foul.
Then Luka Doncic's dumbass would get himself fouled out, continually picking up miscellaneous fouls, and for the first time in his postseason career, he's gonna be done. Begged Jason Kidd and the coaching staff to review this, only to get it denied, so Kyrie's gonna have to be the one to carry the Mavericks to a Game 4. After cutting the deficit all the way down to 1, that's the closest Dallas would get in this game because their inability to play defense, box out, and rebound would bite them in the ass as Jaylen Brown gets a push putback. Derek White puts in a three. Jason Tatum gets an easy dunk inside, and it's a 6-point game again. A couple of dunks inside from Derek Lively would make this a 2-point game once again, but the grandmother slaying bandit Jaylen Brown with a pull-up jumper right in front of Tim Hardaway's face would make it a 4-point game. And then Kyrie, for whatever reason, goes for a three, thinking this 2016 and he's playing in Golden State. You trailing by 4. You absolutely don't need a three in this scenario. Absolutely bricks it. Derek White gets fouled. The Ninja Turtle puts in both his free throws. 6-point game. And in the closing moments, Dallas would absolutely choke. And for the third consecutive game, Boston comes out on top behind a spectacular second half performance as they take a commanding 3-0 series lead, where every team has gone on to win the NBA Finals, as they tell Luka and Kyrie Irving, who now has lost his last 13 consecutive games against the Boston Celtics, to take out their Metro card and get aboard the L train.
I thought it was perfect that Luka fell onto the ground there in an unacceptable position to put himself in with 4 minutes left with 5 fouls, and then immediately looks at the bench and says, "You better bleeping challenge it," as if it's the bench's fault that he just made a terrible play. I'm standing here in the Mavericks tunnel. Over there is the Celtics tunnel. That's where the winners are. If Luka's ever going to be a winner coming out of this tunnel here, he is going to have to use what's happened in this finals as a learning experience. His defensive performance is unacceptable. He is a hole on the court. The Celtics are attacking him. They are ahead in this series because they have attacked him defensively. And you've got a situation here where Luka is complaining about the officiating. They have begged him. They have talked with him. They have pleaded with him. He is costing his team because of how he treats the officials. He's a brilliant player. He does so many things well. They are here because of how he did. His performance in this game is unacceptable, and the reason why the Mavericks are not going to win. He's got to get over this. And the fact that he came out after the game and blamed the officials showed me he's nowhere close yet. So maybe over the summer, somebody will get to him, because nobody with the Mavericks or anybody else in his life has. And that's where the Mavericks are at this point. They're never going to get to this tunnel with the trophy if he doesn't improve those aspects of his game.
You mean to tell me you watched the entire video but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to the Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm. Just do it! Make your dreams come true! Please! Please!
What are you waiting for, huh? Oh my god.